Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz,
We're getting Ricky Skaggs on this show.
Remind me?
You really don't know Ricky Skaggs.
Jeff Lutz,
Son of the late, great Boz guy.
You're funny.
I'm so funny, it's almost hard to bear.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I am so totally turned on right now I could speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a Wednesday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. I'm Bob Lutz, my first show of the new year. Jeff Lutz, his second show of the new year. Max Power, I don't know how many shows Max does.
Second.
Our producer and engineer. Welcome to the show. We're happy to have you with us. How'd it go yesterday?
Fine.
I heard not great in my sources.
Who said that?
We're not too enthralled.
Like who?
Oh, I got people out there that just text me.
Well, those people are not nice people.
Well, I asked. I mean, they text me.
Why don't you ask me?
Well, I just did, and you didn't seem that.
It's fine. Thought we had a good show.
What was the highlight of the show?
Top of hour 2, we got into Jason's personality and why he's such just an even keel, doesn't really have a passion for anything.
What'd you gain from that?
Nothing really. That's just kind of how he is. Not going to change. Hasn't changed, won't change.
Well, then what about his personality was interesting enough to get into?
Well, we talked about sports fandom and how he can watch games just because he likes the sport, but have no emotional.
Well, I can do that.
But you don't have any emotional investment in a game?
Oh, heavens no. Not most of them. Really, no. And my wife would back me up on that.
I pretty much have to have some kind of emotional investment.
I mean, I prefer, no. I enjoy watching sports.
But he doesn't get excited about big plays. He just watches the game. Just has his eyes on it, doesn't react, doesn't do anything.
I'd have to ask his wife about that.
He told me.
Maybe we can coax her, Dia Duda, to come on the show and discuss that.
Maybe.
Maybe she is our 5 questions guest this week.
Well, is Duda going to be here on Friday?
No, he's here tomorrow.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Maybe we could coax him into doing an appearance with her on Friday.
Just to kind of oversee the process?
Yeah, because I think it would be telling to hear her viewpoint.
Yeah, it would.
I got to be honest with you. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about Jason Duda and his personality.
Okay, well, no one does. I'm not going to go home and think about Jason Duda, but when you're doing a show with Jason Duda,
I barely think about him then.
Well, I have to make
no
sure.
Offense to Duda, I love the kid, but
so who told you it wasn't a good show yesterday?
Oh, people at my sources.
Did they know me?
You can probably guess who it is.
No, I can.
Do you really think people text me about this show?
Yes.
How gullible are you?
All the time.
How gullible are you?
So are you saying it wasn't great?
I didn't listen.
Why?
Because I got home and I went to bed and took a nap. I had a long day.
From where?
From Kansas City.
Okay.
I had a long day. We were up at 6 in the morning. We were on the road. We had a procedure in Kansas City.
A procedure? I didn't know anything about this.
We headed home.
Is everything okay?
My wife will get you caught up.
So just say yes or no.
This is some of the most enjoyable stuff I get.
Well,
to do.
I can't ask about my dad's health now. I mean, what kind of weird generation did you grow up in? Did your dad talk about stuff?
Oh, heavens no.
Nothing?
Not his health. Not until way later in life. Then he kind of opened up.
Did he talk about his job? Did he talk about
heavens no.
His friends?
He took me to his job one time. One time.
What is it that he did?
He was an inspector.
Oh, yeah, I know this.
At Beach Aircraft. So when they'd finish a plane, he'd inspect it.
That's a pretty
team of others.
It's a pretty big job.
And he'd make sure that everything. Well, that's the kind of guy he was. He knew. He was very mechanical and in a lot. I don't know how to describe my dad. He was very everything. He could cook. He could do it.
And then what happened?
Because he didn't teach me.
You didn't just pick it up?
No, I wasn't around him that much. I wasn't around him when he cooked. I wasn't around him
Where
when
did he cook?
He cooked in the Army.
So he didn't cook at
Well,
home.
my mother was even a superior cook to him. It's amazing what those two could do in a kitchen. And here you are. Well, I got some chicken. Nothing.
What do you make?
Just nothing.
What do you make?
I mean, and acting like I should just, my jaw should drop. I got, look at this rice.
My rice is good. My Spanish rice
My
so
mother
good.
would have scoffed at it.
Well, why don't you bring me one of her recipes then?
I don't have her recipes.
That's unfortunate.
She cooked everything. You name it, she cooked it. Turnips, I remember that my dad had.
You ever have a burrito at home?
No, don't remember that. I don't
didn't-
remember my mom making.
So she made more traditional.
Yeah, she was a traditional cook. You name it, she made it.
I just named something.
Well, I'm sure she made burritos. I just don't remember having them.
It was donuts and sausage for me every Saturday morning
Where?
at your mother's house.
Really?
Yeah, loved
That's
that.
too bad.
Those donuts were so good. Those chocolate frosted donuts, chocolate glazed donuts.
Well, she didn't make those.
I know, but they were still amazing. And then with the sausage, it's just a perfect combination.
Good, interesting.
Yeah, good stuff.
869-1240, the KFH hotline. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got anything in the new year, what'd you do for New Year's Eve and New Year's night?
New Year's Eve, we went out. Was that New Year's Day?
Yeah, that was New Year's Eve. We went out to Outback. What'd you do that
Year's
night
Day?
and New Year's Day?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, watched a little football, watched a little basketball, watched a little WWE Raw. Just kind of had,
So when is Roman Reigns going to take on The Rock?
WrestleMania.
What's Cody Rhodes going to do?
He'll wrestle somebody else.
Who?
He'll wrestle The Rock at Elimination Chamber for a chance to face
No.
the champ.
See, this is so wrong.
Why?
This is why I go to Scott Griffiths, our
It's okay,
friend.
tell me the path.
I don't know, but this is why I go to him.
So what's Cody Rhodes going to do between the Rumble and WrestleMania?
I don't know, but he's not wrestling The Rock.
He will.
Guaranteed.
Then
he
how do
won't.
they get to Rock Reigns? Or how do they get to Cody and Reigns?
I guarantee you he won't. And I got a little upset with you.
No, they're trying very hard in Australia to sell out a 70,000-seat arena for a B pay-per-view. And having The Rock there would go a long way
That's
toward
not
doing
a
that.
pay-per.
Elimination Chamber?
Not if The Rock's there.
Right, exactly.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
I don't know. I just said you don't know what you're talking about.
There's a lot of questions to be answered. If Scott thinks he knows what's going to happen, then he's...
Well, I can't wait to hear his opinion.
Well, I gave you mine.
Frankly, that's the opinion. I say this with all due respect. With all due respect.
Okay, well, you're an idiot. Stop.
You're calling your dad an idiot.
Well, you're being an idiot right now. Where are they going to do Rock Roman Reigns? Where? Where would that match only take place?
That probably is going to be at the Royal Rumble.
No, it's not. They're going to give...
That would make sense.
No, it wouldn't. It's a WrestleMania match. You know, WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, right? They don't put their hugest matches on to lead up to WrestleMania. They put their hugest matches on at WrestleMania.
Yeah, The Rock is a huge match for the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns is a huge match for WrestleMania.
Who would you rather watch
That's
wrestle?
how it's coming together.
Who would you rather pay to see? Cody Rhodes or The Rock?
They'll have a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, goodness
Again, until
gracious.
I hear it from
just
our
an
friend
absolute
and wrestling expert, Scott Griffith.
I will bet your life that The Rock does not
I can't
face...
wait to talk to Scott
Well,
about it.
I can't believe how wrong you are.
Well, I don't think I'm wrong.
He's not going to wrestle at the Rumble.
Here's what we have on the show today. At 2:45, Mike Furches, our very good friend. We'll talk some pop culture. I'm in a pop culture. I'm on a pop culture roll right now. I'm watching movies. I'm watching television series.
Like what?
Still keeping up with football. I'm very much into it. We just finished a series on Netflix last night called Beef. And I know Mike hasn't seen the series.
That one about the road rage
Yeah.
thing, you like that?
I thought it was exceptional. Yes.
Okay.
You've never seen it.
I've watched a couple episodes.
What was wrong with it?
Again, it's hard to break through for me. I started watching Elvis last night. Did that ever get?
Elvis.
Did that ever get good?
3 years ago.
Did that ever get good?
Yes, it was a great movie.
Yeah, it wasn't to start. Bored me to tears.
Well, you ought to give up on. What do you do? What is it that keeps you engaged?
It's a good question.
What is it?
I don't know. Right now, I'm watching a lot of basketball, so that's helping.
The Indiana Pacers keep you engaged.
They do, yes.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why?
Just so ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous?
It's laughable.
Explain why.
Because it's just so out there. Nobody in this area cares a thing about the Indiana
So,
Pacers.
a lot of people don't care about the Washington Wizards. I bet we have at least one fan of the
I
Wizards.
bet we don't.
Not one.
Not one in Wichita, Kansas.
No fans
No.
of the Wizards. Not one.
No.
Not even because Landry
Maybe somebody
Shamet.
moved here.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, they're a peripheral fan because.
But maybe
there's a
that's
shocker
something
on
that
the
got
team.
them into the Wizards.
But they're not a fan.
Okay, is there a fan of the Mavericks here?
Sure.
Is there a fan of the Rockets?
Yeah, Fred Van Vliet.
Outside of that, is someone who grew up
Yeah,
with
there's a
Elijah
fan
Wan?
of the Rockets.
Is there a fan of the Jazz?
Maybe because of the Malone Stockton era.
Okay, well, Reggie Miller.
So desperate for anything.
Is there a Grizzlies fan here?
So desperate.
I'm not desperate.
Well, I bet there's a bunch of Oklahoma City fans.
Exactly.
They
I don't know
knocked
about
off
bunch.
the Celtics. I'll bet there's a bunch.
Oh, they'd
They
be
knocked
bandwagon
off
at
the
this
Celtics
point.
last night. No, the Thunder had a very good beginning to their franchise history with Durant and Harden and Westbrook. The Thunder were a thing, and they still are a thing.
They are a thing again.
They're still a thing.
They were moribund for
They're
a while.
thing.
For a few years.
And they've got it going on. And I meant to try to get Barry Trammell on the show today and forgot.
Maybe tomorrow.
We'll work on it for tomorrow's show.
Yeah, the Thunder are generally likable.
Why would? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything against the
Shea
Thunder.
Gilgeous-Alexander, great player. Chet Holmgren has been
He seems
a
to.
force.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander seems to be a first-team All-Pro type of player.
Well,
Think
maybe.
about that.
So is
Put that
Tyrese.
in your-
So is Tyrese
Put that in
Halliburton.
your hat. No, he's not.
Yes, he
Team's
is.
not good enough.
That doesn't matter in the
Team's
NBA.
not good enough.
The NBA writers are progressive,
I'm telling
and they
you.
don't care about.
I'm
and
telling you
also-
right
And
now.
also, they're a game out of fourth in the East. It's not like they're. It's not like they're just.
I'm just telling you
dragging-
right now. Here's your first team All NBA team as we speak: Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Guilty.
probably Giannis, and that fifth spot would be a tough one.
Jokic.
Probably Steph Curry.
No. Halliburton has had a better year than Curry.
That's my
You know he went 20-20 back-to-back games.
that's my All NBA team.
Okay, maybe Tyrese breaks through that, or maybe he's on the second team.
I mean, you got 5 guys averaging 30 points. I left De'Aaron Fox off that list. He's continuing to rise.
Yeah, the Kings could have been my choice.
Why didn't you go with the King?
Seemed too predictable after they were good last year. Like
So much
I'm
of
just
a
gonna-
better choice.
I'm just going to jump on them the second they get good. That feels disingenuous. I did used to like the Kings, but I went with the Pacers.
Better choice.
No, I never get to watch their games.
Here's Shannon Great, not on the phone, but instead of a top 10 restaurants, he gives me a top 5. And this seems crazy. Taco TJ's. Do you know where that is?
No.
Metro Bistro in Andover. He wants to take you there for the Cuban.
For the Cuban, and where it's going to happen someday.
Melindo, the greatest street tacos. Bob and Luigi's in Andover.
Sure.
And number 1, Solly and Jude's.
Already?
Already, number 1?
Maybe that's just out of no particular order.
Now he listed them by number.
Wow. I think there's a universe where Shannon Great and I could be friends.
I don't think
Not
so.
like super close
No,
friends.
Shannon's too out there.
But we could hang out a few times.
No, you wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it.
Why?
He's got a much different personality than you do.
I can handle people's personalities.
You can't. No, you can't even handle Duda.
What are you
without
talking
getting
about?
all freaked out.
Freaked out?
Yeah, freaked out. What's your personality like, Jason? I want
Yeah,
to.
that was the exact conversation.
I want to discuss your personality. I mean, come on, man.
Well, why don't you listen and then judge for yourself?
Shannon is a type A plus,
That doesn't bother me.
and you would not do well with that.
Type A plus? I mean, he was at the draft. He didn't make any waves socially. I mean, he was just there.
He's in a rock band.
I get it.
No way that would be the Odd Couple.
Well, I could see it.
I'd have a much better chance.
I'm friends with his friend, Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, I've told you about Jason before.
I'd have a much better chance of developing a kindred bond with.
Well, a grandfatherly-like relationship.
No, he's not that young.
He's not that old.
He's in his. I'll bet he's 50.
Maybe. He might be right in between, basically. Well, not really. But, you know.
He might be actually. He might be a little older than 50.
You think so?
Well, I mean, he's been around forever. I first saw his band, The Band, down in Derby many years ago.
They've been around a long time. And they've been generally successful.
They don't play the kind of music you like. It'd be a hard sell for you and him.
Nah, I think
that's what I'm saying.
I don't mind the music.
Nah, you mind it.
I'm trying to figure out how old he is.
You don't like the music they play.
I have no problem with it. He's 54.
Well, there you go. You see, we're contemporaries almost.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, seriously.
54? Good grief. Guy's ancient.
I told you he's been around a while.
He's 13 for me and 14 from you. So he basically is kind of right in the middle.
I think that's all I got for the opening segment.
That's it?
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. I started doing my wife and I have a great time when we're on the road together.
Where'd you go?
We went to
Oh,
Kansas City. But we've made it a habit to stop at a rest stop in Emporia, or just north of Emporia, mile marker 155 there at Beto Junction.
And the input that she had on this
And I'll
stop.
tell you what we've enjoyed having for lunch when we stopped there. Back in a minute, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
All right, Max has us set up with the music. And in a moment, I'll tell you what that is. We're ringing in the new sensation, In Excess, thanks to Max Power. So I teased you, telling you what we've
I can't
started
wait
doing.
for this.
Every time we've gone to Kansas City over the past few months, we've stopped at the, I don't know what the name of the store is, but first to get gas. And then we go in, and I've discovered they have the most scrumptious.
Why do you feel like you've discovered?
I've discovered this.
No, you've settled.
I've discovered that this place has the most scrumptious ham salad sandwich you can
What
imagine.
in the world is ham
just
salad?
in a truck stop. So they got this Subway right over there, but I go for the frozen, not the frozen, refrigerated ham salad sandwich.
Why?
Because it's scrumptious.
Ugh.
Why do I bother you? Am I
Why do you
bothering you
bother me?
more as I get older?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do you think that is?
I just did not necessarily envision you becoming stereotypical old guy in a lot of ways.
Tell me what ways.
Just you're kind of, you're not totally inept with technology, but if there's something that you don't know how to do, you're not going to learn it.
Like what?
I don't know, just anything. Like we're talking about the app today, or the KWCH.
No, I could learn to do that very easily.
And go get your little Roku
It's just,
TV.
Hey, we got this new podcast out. It's available on Roku in Mars, and you can also see it on Zenith.
No, a lot of people have Roku, Apple, or Fire TVs.
I don't know one.
I do.
I don't know one person who has Roku, Apple, or Fire.
I have Roku. I'm telling you right now. A lot of people
You're
have
the
Roku.
most.
We have Roku at our station.
You're the most, out of touch person I know. I've got nice TVs, and I don't deal with Roku, Fire,
What are you talking? You see, you don't even know what you're talking
or
about.
Apple.
They're just a way to access apps, man. That's all it is. And you can watch live TV on it. You can do anything you want.
Caller number 1, 869-1240, if you have Roku, Fire, or Apple.
Okay,
want you
so most of the city.
I want you to tell me about its attributes.
I'll tell you right now about Roku.
All right, tell me the attributes.
You can set up
Wait
your...
a minute, I'm not done talking about the scrumptious ham salad.
Oh, yes, you are. We're all done with that.
Anyway, I'm going to miss that part of it. My wife gets a turkey and cheese sandwich out of the same area,
That's too
and
bad.
we just have a wonderful time.
Okay. Staggering, but
What's wrong with you?
it's weird.
Why do you walk in here automatically kind of put off by me?
I'm not put off
Is that
by you.
where this
I
show's
love
headed?
you, man. But,
Now, why can't you just say I love you without the
I
man?
love you, man.
No,
But-
see? You can't say it.
Some of the things, and I'm sure I'll be I'm already kind of stereotypical old guy, so I'm sure when I get to be in my late 60s.
I don't see how that stereotypical old guy developing an affinity
You
for a
see a lo-
ham salad sandwich,
You don't?
which I had never had in my life. I took a big leap and said, you know what? I'm going to try this.
I don't even know what ham salad is. It sounds terrible.
It's just ham salad.
What's in it?
Mayonnaise, some little celery. I don't even like celery.
But you love
But
ham
you've heard
salad.
of egg salad.
Yeah, I would never.
Well, the egg salad's fantastic. If they had egg salad, we might be talking about the scrumptious egg salad.
Well, thank
Sandwich.
goodness.
But we're
Anyone have the Roku? Have we heard from anyone?
No, nobody has it.
Somebody has it. Tweet me. I know people are at work. Just figure it out.
I'm telling you, there are no contemporaries of mine who have Roku.
There absolutely are.
So I
It's
could go
so
to
easy.
I could go to Hefner Television.
Yeah, or Target or
and
Walmart.
say, I'd like a Roku TV. What would I do with the wonderful televisions I have?
You can do whatever you want. Or you can just get a little Roku. My little Roku, the little 12-inch, 16-inch one, was just so I could turn it on in my room and watch baseball. And just have it like right
What
next to
about a nice Fire Stick?
Don't really know how those are used, but I know
what's
people
the
that
oh, my friends.
but I know people
My
that have
friends,
them.
why don't you know about a Fire Stick?
'Cause
Even
that's
the
not
old
what I
man
have.
knows about a Fire Stick.
Well, get one and watch my podcast.
Where do I go to get it? Walmart?
Walmart,
Best Buy?
Target, Best Buy.
Target?
Absolutely.
Well, I may do that. If that's the only way I can see your podcast,
And they're not
Which-
expensive.
it seems to me that when you operate a television station, it should be available on my television.
It's
that make
over
sense?
the top content.
I don't know what over-the-top content
So
is.
when
So now, I've been out of the media game for about
so listen,
7 years.
Remember when WWE had the WWE Network? Now it's
Didn't
all on-
work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
Yeah, it didn't
But
work.
do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
That's over the top because you can't watch that on a channel, but you can access it through your TV still, just like you can access this through a TV. You just have to have the right TV that everyone else has, which is Roku.
Here's Raider Nate, a young man who probably doesn't know anything about Roku,
I bet he does.
Apple, or Fire television. Hello, Nate.
Hey, what's up? Hey, I'll get this out here real quick. I've got 3 Roku TVs, I think, but I did have a huge headache with one of them about a month ago. We have lost the controller for it. Now, the convenience of those is you can, like Jeff said, it's all on your phone. You can download an app, use it all from your phone. But if you've got a Wi-Fi problem and you lose that remote, you're kind of down a creek without a paddle unless you know how to manage it. But I will say those Roku TVs are pretty neat. I like them a lot. They're good. They're pretty inexpensive, and you can get a lot done with them. They got a lot of good kids apps.
You just said, Nate, that you could manage it on your phone. Jeff's head almost exploded.
Yeah, I've never done
he
that.
He wouldn't have any idea how to manage it on his phone.
I mean, I just have a remote, so I do that. But yeah, I'm sure the convenience is off the charts.
Oh yeah, if you have it's an app called the Roku app. You download that, you have your controller on your phone, your remote control, and you can control everything from your phone. Beautiful, beautiful world we live in.
No doubt.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure you look at Jeff's podcast with Lily Wu and Kevin Saul, not together.
Yeah, 2 different ones.
Who's your next podcast?
Jamel Holoparik.
When are you doing that?
Tomorrow.
Well, good for you. Are you learning how to wrap them up?
I'll figure it out.
How'd you wrap up the Lily Wu podcast?
I don't remember. Nothing good.
Lily, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it. Best of luck in your first term as mayor.
I don't think that's what I said.
Something like that. What'd you say? Well, Lily, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, basically.
That's pathetic.
So you Roku TV.
No, I want to go back to that. Learn how to wrap them up.
Okay.
Well, no, give me what you said.
I don't know. You'll have to watch it.
Well, do you look in the camera when you're done?
Well, yeah, but I was looking at her too.
I just can't imagine how awkward it must be.
It's great stuff. You should get a Roku TV.
I'm not going to go out and get a Roku TV.
You get MLB on there. You get, any channel that exists.
I got the 70-incher.
But how do you watch?
I can't get the Roku on that?
Because it's not a Roku TV.
Well, I might be able to download the app, right?
But no, because the app is not the app.
Well, I don't understand.
The app is just an app. It doesn't allow you to use Roku apps on your television.
Well, I don't understand it.
So we have all of them. We got Paramount. I
got Paramount.
You don't have MLB.
I watch
the MLB app.
I watch the MLB every time I want to.
But do you have the MLB app on your TV?
No, why would I need it?
Because it has
the MLB network.
Well, it's on there. Well,
I already got it.
But you could watch the old stuff, the old documentaries. It's like all archived. You can watch live games on there. Roku, just get a Roku.
No. I don't know what I'd do with it. I don't know. I'm so loyal.
I'll help
to the
you.
3 televisions I have.
But you gotta it's a cursor. You gotta move it around. It's so weird.
I'll go talk to my friends at Hefner Television.
Really?
Hefner TV. Yeah, my friends.
Well, why don't they sponsor the show if they're your good friends?
I think they are sponsors on KFH. At least they were back in the 80s. Let's get to Shannon, who's holding. Hello, Shannon. Do you have Roku TV?
No, I got regular TVs. I got a big 65-inch in the middle, and I got 3 35s on the side. So I watch 4 TVs. I know a little bit about them. Just get a Fire Stick, $20, put on the back of your TVs if they're not smart TVs. And you got what Jeff's talking about, the Fire, where you can I got YouTube TV there for the NFL ticket. I got anything I want. I got Paramount. I got all the apps. You don't have to buy a TV. You can just buy the little stick, which is called a Fire Stick that goes in your TVs. It's amazing. Changed my life.
I'll look into it.
I'd rather have the Roku TV.
I'll look
personally.
into it. So, Solly and Jude's is already number one on your restaurant list in Wichita. That
Of
seems
places-
disingenuous.
No. Of places that you may not have gone to yet. That was my top
okay.
5 that I sent you. Places I haven't gone to that you may not have seen yet or gone to. I know there's other places, but I'm not going to name the other names. But I gave you a list of 5. Those are awesome places, man. Those are my go-tos.
All right.
And I want to be on Jeff's. I want to be on Jeff's podcast. Interview me, Jeff. It'd be the best podcast you ever had.
Do something impressive, and maybe I will.
What do
You
you do
think-
something impressive? I've been in a cover band for 18 years. It's traveled over the Midwest,
cover
opening
band.
up for major acts. Yeah, major acts. We got our own music. How many bands have opened
Jeff
up for
would
Night
kill
Ranger
for your
and
life.
If you
Striper?
can give me one of
and
those
Jack-
major acts, then I'll interview you next after that.
You want a major act, huh?
Yeah.
I can give
Hey,
you the
do you think
synthesizer guy
there's
from-
any? You're 54. We've been able to look into your age. Jeff's 41. Do you think there's any chance at all you two could be like legitimate friends?
No. Yeah, we probably could.
Wow.
We probably could.
No, you couldn't.
I mean,
I completely agree with your first sentiment.
We could be friends. I mean, I told him I'd take him out to Metro Bistro. Have the best Cuban in the Midwest. Is that Metro Bistro?
You'd overwhelm Jeff.
No, I wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. I might.
All right, Shannon.
You guys
Thanks
are
for
best.
the list.
Sure.
Yes, thank you for all.
All right, we'll talk
everything.
soon. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll look into potentially figuring out either a Fire Stick or
You won't want to just get a little Roku TV to just watch my podcast on. It'll have to be, I got to get an 80-incher. I don't get that.
Well, no, I don't care what
I mean,
you
I'm
get.
happy you're happy. It's just one of those weird things to be proud of, I guess.
Well, we built a bookcase / entertainment center upstairs that has an opening that would fit a 75-inch television. So why would we get a smaller one? It would look weird, right?
Well, it looks great.
It does look great. Thank you for saying it. It does look great.
You're
And
welcome.
You're so jealous.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm really not.
No, you really are.
Could not be
And I
less
know
jealous.
you. I've known you since you were
You don't
born.
know me that well,
Oh,
apparently.
I know you very well.
Why would I be jealous?
Because I got a nice place here. I got a lot of TVs.
I have a pretty nice house myself.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. It's too far out there for me.
Okay.
I couldn't live in the wilderness.
Yeah, you could.
I don't think I could. And nor would I really want to.
Well, that's what I
when
thought.
I get the urge, I want to go to Quick Trip or get, something to drink. I don't want to go to the creek
Well-
and kill a frog. That's not my idea of
Well,
enjoyment.
we don't kill frogs out there. But if you go to Quick Trip, it's now just a little bit of a longer drive, but more time to think, right? More time to yourself.
I don't need more time to think.
That's healthy.
I got plenty of time to think already.
Just
Thinking
saying.
all the time.
Turn on something to listen to. It's all good.
Mike Furches is our guest. Mike, welcome. Are you in Ohio?
Yeah, I'm still here until I'm leaving here probably Friday, Saturday morning, coming back home.
All right, getting to spend some time with family, and also you had your hair chopped off. It looks good, Mike.
Hey, Mike,
Thank you.
Have you ever thought about getting people out of their timeshares? Because that guy sounds exactly like you on those commercials. Maybe that's your calling.
No, I would not want to get anyone out of timeshares. I wouldn't want to talk anybody into timeshares. I want to stay as far away from timeshares as I can. So, for those that think they're such a great thing, I don't know. I can tell you some stories.
Yeah, I would shy away. My aunts had one at one point, and they didn't like it. What inspired you to cut your hair?
Well, it's I had to, whenever I do my job that I do at Christmas time every year, I have to bleach it. And my family's French Indian, and I grew up, part of my Native American culture is there's a great deal of admiration and respect for your hair. And my hair used to be really long and really black and really thick. And it was so damaged that my hair's just at my shoulder length. and it used to be down to near my belt line. And I thought I've got to treat it right. And everyone I talked to, they said the best thing to do probably would be to cut it down and let it grow back with new growth. And so that's what I did. So I
is
never
the beard
mind, I
is the beard next?
No, the beard will.
Heavens!
It's a true
Oh
story.
man, you look so good, Mike.
Well, I appreciate that, but the beard. This is a true story. When I had my heart surgery, they wanted to cut the beard, and I had somebody jumping on me about it. But I told them, I says, nope. I said, you'll find a way to do it without cutting the beard, or I won't have the surgery. And
Wow.
so they braided they braided it and taped it back around my ears, and it was a nightmare because they had it taped to a tube, and I didn't know that. And I went to pull it off of the tube, and the tube came out, and the tube was stuck into my neck, and blood went everywhere. So there's actually pictures of that someplace. But I will not cut my beard. I figure God put hair on a man's face for a reason. Why take it off?
That's a pretty good way to look at it. I've had facial hair for most of my life, never to your length because it starts bothering me too much. So I can't grow it long.
Hey, I got to say something. I've been listening to the show. Roku is the way to go, Bob. And you don't have the last guy have a Fire Stick, and I have a Roku. I prefer my Roku over the Fire Stick big time. Jeff's correct. You don't have to have a special TV. I don't know if Jeff, you can get the Roku, just hook it up, and then you can make your adjustment on your HDMI cables and all that. It's really simple and easy to do. And Hefner, it'll work on any TV. I've got like 6 of them. I got a bunch of old ones. I'd even give you one of my old ones if you want to try it and see. But it's the way to go. I love my Roku. So I have one on every TV.
I'm going to go by and talk to my good friends at Hefner.
I think
TV.
you should. I think you should have that conversation.
See what they say. I feel good about it.
Yeah, they're good people, so they'll know what they're talking about.
So let's start with we mentioned this last week, and it appears that we're now back into an era and a time where really high-quality movies are coming back. I've said I think Oppenheimer is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and while I would not put the Holdovers into that category, the performance of Paul Giamatti, who I think we all believe is one of the finest actors we have right now, that movie really captured me as well.
No, I liked Beef, not Beef. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. I liked the Holdovers a little bit better than Oppenheimer, but that's not to discredit either of the two movies. They are both great movies. I think we're coming into a slack because it's the end of the year, first of the year. We'll see a few good movies, and then we'll have a slack as to quality, but then it'll pick up again. But I totally agree. The movies as a whole, as of recent, this last year, have been really good, and both of those are great movies as well.
Have you seen Boys in the Boat yet, Mike?
I've not, and I really want to. I was wanting to see it yesterday because I took my daughter. My family loves movies as much as I do, which is really. I mean, my son-in-law and my daughter both have degrees in film, and so I raised my daughter loving movies, and so they love it. But they had not seen the new Hunger Games, so I took them to see that last night at a theater here near Bluffton in Findlay, Ohio, and. Just in regards to going to different theaters at Wichita, we've got it made. We're blessed. We need to take advantage of the quality theaters that we have. So, but I'm not. It's on my must see because it looks really good, and I know it's based on a true story.
Mike Furches is with us. Fargo continues, and we talk about that. I love the series. It's so strange. But my wife and I recently finished the series Beef on Netflix. It's a show about road rage, but that doesn't even begin to describe the show. And we went through that very quickly. It's up for several Emmys. I think it's going to win. It's really, really entertaining.
Bob, I told you I had not seen that, and I was mistaken. I went back and started doing some research after our text this morning. I did see that right after it first came out with Stephen Yeun. I think is how you say his last name.
Yeah.
I hope that he's nominated for an Emmy for that because he's fabulous. He was fabulous in The Walking Dead, and he's fabulous. He and the character that plays his brother, the actor that plays his brother, are both wonderful in this series. I watched it. I'm like you did. I binged it. After I looked at it, I said, I binged this in like 2 or 3 days. because I think they're only 25-minute episodes. They're not an hour-length episodes, and definitely a different kind of story. And it teaches you a few lessons about road rage for sure. And it goes way beyond just the road rage incident, I think, although that's the backdrop of the story.
Yeah, it was excellent. So now we're on to looking for something else to watch on our traditional televisions.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear what it is. Mike, I'll make a recommendation for you. I made it to my dad. He scoffed at me, but I think you in particular would find enjoyment in it. Gary Goldman, he's a comedian.
We watched it.
He has a special on HBO Max or Max. It's called Born on Third Base. I think you'd enjoy it. What was your review of it?
Maybe that's the one we didn't. Maybe we got the wrong special.
Did you watch the Great Depression, the one about depression?
No. What were some of his themes in this one?
He was talking about income equality and being
that's the one we watched.
Growing up poor.
We watched that one.
It's good stuff.
It was good. He's no Nate Bargatze.
He's not trying to be Nate Bargatze.
I understand. He's not as funny as Nate Bargatze.
He's funny
Mike,
in his
do you have
own
any
way.
Thoughts?
Well, if it's on HBO Max, I cancel my HBO Max subscription, and I have to renew that. Well, I do that periodically. There's so many things. I don't have Apple TV. I don't have HBO, but I have virtually everything else from Showtime to Tubi. And, of course, for Tubi it's free. But I think I'm paying more in monthly subscription costs than I've ever paid. And now I'm furious because Amazon is going to be putting commercials on all of their releases unless you pay the extra $10 or whatever it is a month to get it without commercials. And so I'm really kind of.
I think it's $2.99. Yeah, it's an extra charge.
Yeah, I will pay the extra charge because I watch movies. When we went to the movie theater here in Findlay yesterday, it's bad enough they have all the previews. I don't mind the previews though because they're kind of entertaining at times. But they had 30 minutes of commercials before the movie even started, and I don't. If I want to watch something with commercials, I'll put on the old school TV and watch that. Where I can't skip the commercials or DVR it. So, I'm kind of fed up with streaming services. I know that HBO and Max does not have that, so I may even drop Amazon and go to that. I don't know. It's just getting frustrating.
Yeah, I hear you. Man, are there any TV shows you're looking forward to watching? Because we're finally getting television back from the writers and actors strike. That seems like some new seasons are starting or have started. Have there been any new shows that have caught your eye?
Well, not as far as television shows at this point. I've not been watching a lot of television, and of course, the last month and a half, I've been busy doing other things. So this is the time of year that I'm looking forward to getting back to the normalcy of life and enjoying a lot of movies and enjoying TV. And most of the television I watch, as far as serial television, Jeff, is all on streaming stations like Paramount Plus. I still say, Bob, if you haven't seen Bass Reeves from a Western perspective, it's really good.
Got to get on that. That may be the next one.
Now. Yeah, it's concluded now, so you can watch everything and binge it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm sure I would like that. So I got to get on that. You mentioned, Mike, when we were talking about what we were going to talk about today, Mickey Mouse, believe it or not.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on with the iconic character of Mickey Mouse.
I really struggle with this because for those that don't know, Steamboat Willie, the original variation of Mickey Mouse, it became public domain as of January 1. And what that means now is that people can use the image and the concept of Mickey Mouse, and they can use it however they want to without permission or guidance or anything of that nature from Disney. Now, it has to be the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse, the look of that Mickey. But they're making a slasher movie. It was announced right away. They're making a slasher movie. They have a new video game out where he's a slasher type killer in the video game. And how do we respond in that? I truly appreciate the public domain laws, but how do we respond when they've taken such an iconic character and taken him so far away from what his original intent was? They did the same thing with Winnie the Pooh. So I don't see that quite the same as with Mickey Mouse. And I'm not saying I hate the idea, but something just don't sit right with me in seeing Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse, as a slasher killer on the big screen. And I don't know how listeners would feel about that or what they think. but that's in the works. They've done announced it and started work on the film, and they've got the movie that they're doing. So
nothing is sacred anymore. Apparently,
no, it's not. It's
crazy,
such an iconic figure for small children, and I'm struggling with it, not knowing what to think or how to respond. If that makes any sense.
No, it completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. Continue to have a good time on your journey to Ohio and spending some well-deserved time with your family members, and we'll see you back here next week.
See you next week. Take care, guys.
Hey, Mike.
Mike Furches, our guest each and every week to talk pop culture, and we'll get with him again next week. All right, time for a break. We've got an hour left. Taylor Eldridge from the Wichita Eagle will join us at 3:25 today. Talk Shockers. They open American Athletic Conference play tomorrow night at Koch Arena against North Texas. That tip-off at 8 p.m. on ESPN2. And right here on your Odyssey family of stations, you can hear it on KEYN. Back in a minute.